Lieutenant Governor. Lynne, thank you for being with us today, and welcome to the stage.
Well, thank you, Kristen, for that lovely introduction. And I am really honored to be here today to help you celebrate one of the most significant milestones in your life. You set out on a path to achieve a goal, and you did it. You have started to live your dream. And while you have just completed your formal training in nursing, you are embarking on a professional journey where lifelong learning will be a necessity. But let's take a little breath right now and celebrate. Everyone here is proud of you, and I'd like to start with a round of applause. This is no easy path that you've taken over the last few years, and it will be no easy path going forward. Now, a lot of people in this room helped you get here. Your family, your friends, and of course, the CMC faculty. They pushed, they pulled, and while they seemed cool under pressure, they often stressed out more than you did over the last few years. They know that. They helped you realize your potential and held you to the highest standards. Let's give it up for them. I want to thank my friend, Dr. Hauser. I've never called her that. I always just call her Carrie, or hey, you, wait for me. That's usually what I'm saying because she's faster than I am. She is not only an amazing individual, but a tremendous leader of this institution. And it is a great institution as I look and see the 50th anniversary celebration. What I love about Colorado Mountain College is where it is and how it thrives in our communities. That literally is the brand, being here, making a difference right in the communities that it serves. And our nursing program here has had some amazing results. I want to thank Dr. Betty Damask-Bebenik, the Director of Nursing Education. She and her faculty have so much to be proud of. And if you don't know it, these graduates here leapfrog national averages in terms of passing rates for the national exams and go on to meaningful careers. Now, commencement speeches are often riddled with cliches like reach for the stars, don't be afraid to fail, dream big. And that's all good, but pretty soon you won't remember any of that while you're working, maybe short-staffed, covering for someone. Maybe feeling frustrated because you're not working at the top of your license. Or maybe facing the challenge of comforting the dying. So I'm here to speak more directly with you, to dispense with the cliches. Ask anyone who knows me. I have a tendency to speak without a filter. I use my outdoor voice when I'm inside. I got my undergraduate degree 43 years ago, but I've never stopped learning, whether in graduate school or on the job or in the mountains. I'm proud to say I'm in the middle of a good, successful, happy life, and hopefully the most important measure is that I've touched other lives along the way. If that's what you want, and I think you do, because you're here today as nursing graduates, I want to share with you 2 words and 1 acronym. The first word is idealism. Billy Joel once said, being a musician is not something you choose to be. It is something you are. Like tall or short or straight or gay, there is no choice. Either you is or you ain't. Those are his words. I didn't say ain't. But I am going to make a grammatical challenge now, because you as nurses, you are and is nurses. And idealism is easy for you because you're sitting here as graduates. In spite of your age, in spite of your economic situation, you've chosen this path because you care. It's your calling. Even the Oxford American Dictionary uses nursing as an example of what we call a vocation. Vocation is a word that literally means a calling. This is your calling. You understand the human condition and you want to change it. You already are idealists. But idealism is nearly impossible to maintain sometimes. You will be inundated with profound tests of your idealism. Losing a patient, having the system or a coworker fail you, and facing the dilemma of family desires to treat and keep alive a patient that perhaps should not be. I've been in healthcare most of my life, and although I've never been a caregiver, I've been a policymaker, a business person in healthcare. I've wrestled with high costs and tried to work to make sure more people have access to healthcare, not less. I've learned that sometimes it's enough to just hold your ground in the face of opposition, while others try and convince you that you're wrong. Remember, it is always important to speak up, share your point of view, speak up for the rights of patients and the most vulnerable, and you know that your opinion is valuable. Sometimes it's just caring for someone who doesn't have an advocate. Sometimes it's just listening. The second word is resolute. You must be resolute. That's easy for you now because you've just finished rigorous study. You've eaten lunch while learning about bodily fluids. You've crammed previously unknown material, injected, poked, prodded, and stabbed inanimate and living things alike. But being resolute is also a challenge. You will face situations where there is no right answer, no way to be resolute. But usually something inside you tells you what is right. Hold your ground for what you believe in and show others your conviction. You know, years ago, I was involved in a business situation where things just went wrong. The computer system in 32 pharmacies that were serving hundreds of thousands of people crashed. I could have sat in my office and tried to figure out how do we solve it, and instead I mobilized 25 people who worked for me. We took cases of water. We worked the pharmacy lines, even though we were the business executives, and we moved people in line who were pregnant, who were disabled. We pulled all kinds of strings to do things probably a little beyond certainly what my scope of license is. But I learned from that because I knew what was right, and I had to do what was right for the people who needed care. The third thing I want to say, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness from the parents in particular, it's an acronym, and it's BS, not Bachelor of Science, just by the way. You know, your job is often to deal directly with people who need care, but not everybody can say that. You've got a big bureaucracy around you. You've got a business around you. And as nurses, you're the instruments for healing people by touching, validating, soothing, and you just want to do what's right for the patient. But healthcare is a business. And when something's a business, patient interests aren't always paramount. Think about it. When evidence-based medicine meets patient-centered care, meets health plan benefit design and restrictions, and meets deductibles and coinsurance. You're in the middle. My last few jobs, I went into thinking that everybody believes that healthcare is too expensive, and everybody should want to make it more affordable, make it easier, make it more transparent for patients. But I've learned the hard way that there are just too many people out there that want to keep the status quo. Because the status quo is safe. The status quo is what we know. And because there's a lot of money in healthcare. I'm going to keep fighting, and I hope you'll keep fighting. I fight on behalf of patients even though I don't come into contact with them as much as you will. I have great admiration for what you're about to do because it is one of the purest and noblest professions in life. In just a few minutes, you will officially be nurses. You will own a piece of paper that nobody can take from you. Inscriptions on a page that summarize your sweat, your tears, and your hard work, that give you full authority to go out, be idealists, be resolute, and cut through the BS. Hopefully, if you can stay true to these values, the good will outweigh the bad. Hopefully, you'll look back with fondness on the time you taught someone to take care of herself, or rejoiced with new parents at the birth of their baby, or comforted those who were facing the end of their life. Hopefully the training that you've received will help you face an uncertain world, where the decisions that you make will be analyzed and scrutinized. At the end of the day, we all know patient care isn't easy, and it's not black and white. And as you experience the full human condition, know that it will take its toll on you. Remember to take care of yourself and to take care of each other. Your classmates at CMC will be lifetime friends. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask them for help. As your vocation, your calling takes you to clinics, community centers, churches, schools, and maybe even boardrooms, know that whatever you do with the rest of your life, you'll always be a nurse. There will be barriers in your way, but don't forget what another nurse once said, Clara Barton. I have an almost complete disregard of precedent and a faith in the possibility of something better. It irritates me to be told how things have always been done. I defy the tyranny of precedent. I go for anything new that might improve the past. Thank you all for working to improve the past. CMC class of 2017, you don't need any more encouraging words from me. I know you're going to do extraordinary things, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. Remember, your CMC family is family forever, and please count me among them. Congratulations and thank you.